Hey guys, it's your girl from the P word, LaFrida Smith. So today I'm going to talk about learning disabilities. So recently, I just found out that I have dyslexia. And how I found this out was I took a statistics, and I also have a lisp. Which I knew about. I can't pronounce certain words, which I'm not ashamed of. I tried my best to pronounce certain words, and with the way that I'm enunciating certain words, some words are okay for me to pronounce, but then others, my tongue gets in the way and there's a lisp going on. So those of you that have a lisp know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to talk about how I'm 44 years old, and I just realized that I have a learning disability. And last month I was taking statistics. I said it right. Statistics, and I found out that when I read a word problem with numbers in it, somehow the numbers get all jumbled, and sometimes they're backwards for some reason. I don't know why, but I had a very, very hard time with statistics, especially when the word problems were so long that I couldn't even understand. And one of the things that my teacher told me was, take one sentence at a time. And this is something that I did while I was, towards the end, when I was struggling, because I was getting D's and F's. I was getting F's on my test. And I don't get D's and F's. It was so stressful for me to know that I was getting, these bad grades, and all I had to do was focus. And I'm a very focused person when it comes to getting something done and getting it done right. So when I took these tests, I got so frustrated with myself. And one thing you don't want to do is give up on yourself. You have the ability to do certain things, and then there's sometimes where you feel like, I'll never learn how to do this. I'll never know how to do this. I'll never, I just can't do it. And I kept trying and trying and trying, and I said to myself, why is it that I just can't get this? And when I thought about it, I said, your teacher is there to help you, and they know this stuff backwards and forwards. So it was almost like, you don't know what you're talking about and stuff like that. And when you don't have a learning disability, it's hard to be in that person's shoes. So for me, having the learning disability, it kind of put into perspective for me what exactly I needed to do to kind of get myself motivated. Because what the teacher was teaching, I was okay in the classroom. And I didn't understand how I could be okay in a classroom. But then as soon as I went to go take the test at home, or I did it there, everything was jumbled. Words, got away from me, and numbers were just backwards, and I literally cried sometimes because I just could not get, it didn't make any sense to me. So what I did was, I made sure that I retook tests and see if I got better score on them. And some of them I did, or whatever. And I just didn't give up on myself. I asked a lot of questions in class. Don't be afraid to raise your hand when you don't understand something, because I knew that there was going to be some students in a class that would do that thing where they say they understand, but then they go home and then they're looking at the thing and they come back the next day and say, I was confused and such like that. Me, I didn't do that. I would raise my hand and say, look, I don't understand that. I don't get that, or whatever. And learning that you have dyslexia, it was scary for me, but it's not something that I'm ashamed of. At first I didn't want to believe that I had that, but that's that is what was diagnosed. And now I have to kind of adjust to certain situations when I have to read like anything that has words and numbers in a combination, or if I just have a lot of numbers in front of me. That's another thing. When I had like a lot of numbers in front of me, oh my gosh, the numbers would be so jumbled for me. I swear I would be right. That's why I like copy and paste. That's why I love copy and paste, because if it wasn't for copy and paste, every number that I would write down would be just backwards. And it's just so frustrating to have that. And you just don't know until you are sat down in front of something and you have to challenge yourself. For me, I challenged myself, and now I know how my youngest son feels. He's on the spectrum, and there are certain things that he does not understand. He's high functioning, but cognitive things, certain things he does not understand, and he gets frustrated, and I understand his frustration. I had that firsthand, how he gets frustrated, and I feel for him every day when there's certain things that he gets to a point where he can't understand. He has done, he has made me want to do better and overcome certain things, because he'll go through something and he won't understand it, but he'll just keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. Like right now, he's in the midst of I'm giving him like mock driver's ed test. I'm trying to make sure that he sees that material over and over and over and over again, so that when he does take the real test, then he's not going to be disappointed in himself that he failed it. The fact is that if he gets 80 or above in the driver's ed test, he'll feel he has accomplished what he's accomplished if he makes sure that he takes the practice tests, all these practice tests. And I will not let him go out there and fail. I will make sure that he goes out there and he knows all that material before he goes out there and takes that test. And for me, I believe in doing that too. I believe in trying it and doing the practice and doing all that. And then after repeated attempts of trying to do something, if I can't get it, I know I tried my best. And I teach the children this all the time. You tried your best. If you just kept trying and kept trying and kept trying and you couldn't do it, it's not your fault. And for me, I had to keep saying that to myself, because I kept trying to give up on myself. And I was almost at the end of this class, and I had a D at the end of the class before I took my final. And when I got a I got a C on my actual final exam, and I ended up having a C for an overall grade. It was an accomplishment for me. I just love the fact that I did what I did and was able to breathe, afterwards. And, all that crying and frustration and studying and stuff that I did, it was a sense of accomplishment for me. So, learning that I have dyslexia is, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of it. And you shouldn't be ashamed of any learning disability that you may have, because that makes you more special. That makes you, try, and try to succeed and go above and beyond what you can and can't do. And, it's a sense of accomplishment for me that I did get a C in this class, because I heard a lot of people fail this class, and it's like, oh my gosh, because this is what he told us the first day, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But I did it, and that's my confession. I have dyslexia. I also have physical and mental disabilities, but I'm not going to let that stop me from living life. And don't let that stop you from living life either. And teach your children the same, that they can do above and beyond anything they want to do in this world, no matter what the obstacle is. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my video, and I'll see you guys next week.